Today's flashback movie is the gripping crime thriller The Departed from 2006. And we're going to look a little at the background of the movie, what it's about, who the stars were, and what they're doing now and before they did the movie. If you like what you see, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, then you could even subscribe to the channel. That would be great if you could, and it really does help me out. The Departed was released in October 2006 by Warner Brothers, with a running time of about 2.5 hours. It was nominated for no less than 5 Oscars: Best Motion Picture, Best Achievement in Directing, Best Writing, Adapted Screenplay, Best Achievement in Film Editing, and Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role. The last one was the only one it didn't walk away with on the night. The story was written by William Monahan, but is a remake of the 2002 Hong Kong film Infernal Affairs, which was written by Alan Mack and Felix Chong, and is also loosely based on the real-life Boston Winter Hill Gang. The movie itself was directed by Martin Scorsese. Filming was done in the Bronx in New York with a budget of $90 million, and the worldwide gross reached more than $290 million. South Boston cop Billy Costigan goes undercover to infiltrate the organisation of gangland chief Frank Costello. As Billy gains the mobster's trust, a career criminal named Colin Sullivan infiltrates the police department and reports on its activities to his syndicate bosses. When both organisations learn they have a mole in their midst, Billy and Colin must figure out each other's identities to save their own lives. When it was released, I think The Departed was possibly the most entertaining, non-stop intense crime thriller of the past few years. Some critics said that it was the best film that Martin Scorsese has made since Goodfellas, but that would mean that Scorsese hasn't made a decent movie in over 15 years. So I'd prefer to say that this was Scorsese's best since his last movie, perhaps. Or at least since Gangs of New York, anyway.
Identity of undercover people.
You have anyone in with Costello presently?
Maybe.
Do you know who I am?
Maybe not.
I'm gonna have my associates search you.
That was quick. Think he's dead already?
Get your hands off me!
I think we could work something out. We are all convinced that Costello has at least one mole inside the special.
One of the main protagonists of the movie is of course Trooper William Billy Costigan Jr., a role played by Leonardo DiCaprio, who was born in Hollywood in 1974. Few actors in the world have had a career quite as diverse as Leo's, who went from relatively humble beginnings as a supporting cast member on the 1985 sitcom Growing Pains, and low-budget horror movies such as Critters 3 in 1991, to the major Hollywood star he is today. When you think of the many amazing movies he's made, it's difficult to look past such greats as Inception, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Revenant, and of course Titanic. But my personal favourite has got to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, in which he co-stars with Brad Pitt. Leo currently lives mainly in Los Angeles, and although he has never been married, he's had a whole host of glamorous girlfriends, and is currently stepping out with Hollywood rising star Camilla Morrone. Born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1970, Matthew Page Damon plays the role of Staff Sergeant Colin Sullivan. Ranked as one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, Damon is the recipient of numerous accolades, including 2 Golden Globe Awards and an Academy Award from 5 nominations. He made his professional acting debut in the 1988 movie Mystic Pizza, but came to prominence in 1997 when he and Ben Affleck wrote and starred in Good Will Hunting, which won them the Academy and Golden Globe Awards for Best Screenplay. He has also starred in the title role of Saving Private Ryan, as the anti-hero in The Talented Mr. Ripley, and more recently as race car driver Carroll Shelby in 2019's Ford vs Ferrari. However, he is best known for his role as conman Linus Caldwell in the Ocean's trilogy, and of course as the action hero Jason Bourne in the Bourne franchise. Recently, Damon has turned his hand to the production of TV shows with the likes of Project Greenlight and The Runner, with plans for more production work in the future. Damon met his Argentine wife Luciana Barroso while filming Stuck on You in 2003. They became engaged in 2005 and married at the Manhattan Marriage Bureau the same year. They had 3 daughters together, and he also has a stepdaughter from Barroso's previous marriage, and he considers her to be his own. Since 2012, they have lived in the Pacific Palisades neighbourhood of Los Angeles, having previously lived in Miami and New York City. Longtime Hollywood icon Jack Nicholson was born in Neptune, New Jersey in 1937, and played the Irish mob boss Frank Costello. Although now retired, Nicholson enjoyed a career that spanned more than 50 years, and he is known for having played a wide range of starring and supporting roles, including comic characters, romantic leads, anti-heroes and villains. Having made his movie debut way back in 1958, Nicholson's big break came as liquor-soaked attorney George Hanson in the 1969 movie Easy Rider, with Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper. And he won his first Best Actor Oscar in 1975 with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. During the 80s, Nicholson starred in such blockbusters as The Shining, Terms of Endearment, The Witches of Eastwick, and as the Joker in Tim Burton's Batman. His role as Frank Costello was one of his last parts before announcing his retirement, and has not acted since 2010. Now, although Nicholson has only been married once, to Sandra Knight from 1962 to 1968, he has 6 children to 5 different women, and his longest relationship was the 17 years he spent with Angelica Houston. Nicholson currently lives on Mulholland Drive in Beverly Hills, but also has a second home in Aspen, Colorado. Former rapper Marky Mark, whose full name is Mark Robert Michael Wahlberg, was born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1971, and played Queenan's right-hand man, Staff Sergeant Sean Digman, which won him a Best Supporting Actor Oscar nomination. Wahlberg made his screen debut in 1994's Renaissance Man, and he received critical praise for his performance as porn actor Dirk Diggler in Boogie Nights in 1997. In the early 2000s, he ventured into big-budget action movies such as The Perfect Storm, Planet of the Apes and The Italian Job. However, he is perhaps best known for both the Ted and Daddy's Home movies, as well as being the main protagonist in 2 of the Transformers franchise movies. In fact, in 2017, he was the world's highest paid actor. On the small screen, Wahlberg is another actor that has turned his hand to production, and has been executive producer on no less than 5 HBO TV shows: Entourage, Boardwalk Empire, How to Make It in America, Ballers, and the documentary McMillions. Wahlberg married model Rhea Durham in 2009 in Beverly Hills, near where they live, and they have 4 children together. And the Hollywood big hitters keep on coming. This time it's Martin Sheen, who was born in Dayton, Ohio in 1940, and played Captain Oliver Charlie Queenan, who asked Billy to infiltrate Costello's crew. Sheen is another actor with a huge list of credits to his name, having begun his career back in the mid-1950s. Over the years, Sheen has starred in some of the great movies of the time, including Apocalypse Now, and as Uncle Ben in The Amazing Spider-Man. More recently, Sheen has turned his attention to the small screen, with success in the TV shows Anger Management, as Martin Goodson, and as Robert Hansen in Grace and Frankie. Not forgetting, of course, he played the President in The West Wing. Ray Winstone was born in Hackney, London in 1957, and played Costello's right-hand man, Arnold Frenchy French. Having moved to Enfield as a boy, Winstone started boxing at the age of 12, something he kept up for 10 years, winning more than 80 medals and trophies. It's no wonder he's best known for playing hardman roles, and has been described as the East End's answer to George Clooney. Really? Winstone's big breaks came on the small screen in the early 80s, with a supporting role in Bergerac, and then being asked to play Will Scarlet in Robin of Sherwood. Winning the lead role in the movie Sexy Beast brought him to the attention of Hollywood, and he's gone on to star in movies such as Cold Mountain, Beowulf, and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, as well as voicing Bad Bill in Rango. On the small screen, Winstone played the title role in the TV series Vincent, and has recently portrayed Cam Rose in Ice. He lives in Royston, Essex with wife Elaine, who he married in 1979, and they have 3 children together. On a side note, Winston has been declared bankrupt twice, in 1988 and again in 1993. Obviously, the world of acting can be tough sometimes. Born in Clifton, New Jersey in 1973, Vera Farmiga played the role of Sullivan's love interest, psychiatrist Dr. Madeline Madden, who was treating him as part of his probation requirements. A classically trained pianist and a semi-professional folk dancer, Vera's parents are Ukrainian, and she considers herself to be 100% Ukrainian American. In fact, she didn't learn English until she started kindergarten at the age of 6. Vera made her television debut in the Fox fantasy adventure series Raw in 1997, and her movie debut in the drama thriller Return to Paradise the following year. She had her first starring role in the romantic drama Love in the Time of Money in 2002, but her breakthrough role came as the drug-addicted mother Irene Morrison in 2004's Down to the Bone. Other well-known movies include Up in the Air and Orphan. On the small screen, Vera has appeared as Alex Cross in UC, Undercover, and Detective Susan Branca in Touching Evil, but she is best known as Norma Louise Bates in Bates Motel. We are scheduled to see her as Eleanor Bishop in a new TV series called Hawkeye. Having been married to Sebastian Roche from 1997 to 2004, Vera's current husband is musician and film producer Ren Hawkins, with whom she has 2 children, and they split their time between homes in New York and Vancouver. As a member of the famous Baldwin family dynasty, and perhaps the best known of the 4 brothers, as well as the eldest, Alexander Ray Baldwin III was born in Long Island, New York in 1958, and played the leader of a Special Investigations Unit, Captain George Ellaby. Baldwin began his career with both lead and supporting roles in movies like Tim Burton's Beetlejuice in 1988, before gaining attention for his performance as Jack Ryan in 1990's The Hunt for Red October. Some of his best known movies include It's Complicated, The Aviator, and both the 5th and 6th instalments of the Mission Impossible franchise. Baldwin is also a columnist for the Huffington Post and has received critical acclaim for his portrayal of Donald Trump on the long-running sketch series Saturday Night Live. Also on the small screen, many will know Baldwin as Jack in the long-running 30 Rock and as the narrator on Thomas the Tank Engine, although one of his earliest TV appearances was as Joshua Rush on the Dallas spin-off Knots Landing in the mid-80s. Anthony Anderson was born in Los Angeles in 1970 and played Costigan's trusted colleague, Police Deputy Tony Brown. Since his film debut in Liberty Heights, Anderson has performed in the likes of My Baby's Daddy, Hustle and Flow, and King's Ransom, which, to date, is his only starring role. He's also had supporting roles in Scary Movie 3 and 4, and Scream 4. On the small screen, Anderson is known for playing Dre Johnson in the long-running TV series Blackish. Dre is a character that also appears in the spin-offs Mixed-ish and Grownish. Anderson still lives in Los Angeles and has been married to his college sweetheart Alvina Anderson since 1999, and they have 2 children together. On a side note, Anderson has seen his way past some dark clouds during his career, having been accused of sexual assault on 3 occasions. It appears that the charges were dropped in all 3 of the cases. Born in the Bronx, New York City in 1969, character actor Kevin Fitzgerald Corrigan played Costigan's drug-dealing cousin, Sean. Corrigan made his movie debut in The Road Home in 1989 at the tender age of 17, and is also an accomplished guitarist, having played in several New York City bands. Corrigan built a career playing quirky, unconventional characters in movies such as True Romance, Living in Oblivion, Walking and Talking, and Rhythm Thief. Other well-known movies he appeared in include Superbad, Pineapple Express, and American Gangster. He made his television series debut as a cast member of the short-lived Rhea Perlman sitcom Pearl, and then went on to become well known for his role as the slacker Eddie Finnerty on the TV sitcom Grounded for Life, which ran for 5 seasons. Most recently he has portrayed Benny Eggs in Godfather of Harlem. Corrigan has been married to fellow actress Elizabeth Berridge since 2001, and they have 1 child together. James Badge Dale was born in 1978 and played mob mole and state trooper Barrigan, who killed Costigan in Brown. Dale's movie debut came at the tender age of 10, when he was picked out of his 5th grade class to play the part of Simon in the 1990 movie adaptation of Lord of the Flies. Returning to school after 5 months filming on location in Jamaica. That must have been hard. As an adult, his other most notable roles have come in movies such as World War Z, or Z, Iron Man 3, and as lead character Will Travers in Rubicon. On the small screen, Dale is best known for playing Chase Edmonds in 24, and he has also appeared as a serial killer, Henry Darius, in both CSI Miami and CSI New York. Scottish stage and character actor David Patrick O'Hara was born in Glasgow in 1965 and played Irish-born mobster Patrick Fitzy Fitzgibbons. A graduate of the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in London, he is best known to audiences for his numerous supporting roles in high-profile movies such as Irishman Stephen in Braveheart, Hitman Mr. X in Wanted, and Albert Runcorn in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Other movies he can be seen in include Cowboys and Aliens, Hotel Rwanda, and Doomsday. On the small screen, O'Hara is perhaps best known as Detective Danny Mac McGregor in The District, and Henry Howard in The Tudors. But more recently, he has also played Alistair Fitz in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mark Rolston was born in 1956 and played undercover cop Tim Delahunt. A well-known character actor, Rolston is often cast as a villain due to his trademark icy stare. His best-known supporting roles have come in popular movies such as Aliens, Lethal Weapon 2, The Shawshank Redemption, and the Saw film series. Rolston's TV career has also been pretty successful from the very beginning back in the early 80s, with the role of John Lee in Starfleet. But more recently he has voiced Colyvan in Voltron, legendary Defender and Lex Luthor in Young Justice, as well as appearing as Lieutenant Don Thorne in the crime thriller Bosch. Older brother of Mark, Robert George Wahlberg, was also born in Boston, Massachusetts, but this time in 1967, and he played FBI Special Agent Frank Lazio, who was sent to assist in the investigation into the Irish mobsters. With considerably less acting credits to his name, Robert began his acting career in the late 90s, and has appeared in such movies as Southie, Mystic River, Gone Baby Gone, and The Equalizer. Recently, Robert has dipped his toe into the world of television acting, having taken on the role of Bernie Hanahan in 2019 City on a Hill. He's married to Gina Santangelo, and they have 2 children together. Kristen Dalton was born in San Diego County, California in 1973 as Kristen Valerie Hocking, and played mob boss Frank Costello's girlfriend Gwen. Kristen got her first break when she played a small role in 1989's Tango and Cash, followed by another in A Night at the Roxbury the following year. Prior to The Departed, Kristen had a role in the television series The Dead Zone as Dana Bright. Other movies she has appeared in include Jack Reacher as Mindy, and as Joanne Martin in Steel Rain, a role she reprised in the sequel in 2020. Kristen married fellow actor Darren Jack Dalton in 1993, but they divorced again in 2009.